The community have dubbed this one the Marvel Legends Capcom cable, but I think we can do a little action figure upgrade. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember now you can hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today, something a little bit different, but something I occasionally do on the channel, as let's give this Marvel Legends cable a little action figure upgrade. As you know me, I love this hobby. No two displays are the same. Everyone adds their own little flavor. And what we're going to do today is make this Marvel Legends cable a little bit more accurate to the Capcom appearance. As the community has dubbed this one, the Capcom cable, as the Marvel Legend itself is a tribute to his appearance in the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 game. But I'm sure we can all agree that the weaponry the Marvel Legends came with wasn't exactly accurate to cable or the game. They are just reissues of weapons we have seen in the past. I think we've gotten with characters like Silvermane. So this upgrade kit we've been given today are actual accurate weapons 3D printed to that Capcom appearance to give him that like hyper viper beam. We have his spear, a more accurate pistol as well. And in here we actually have a new head sculpt to check out too. So lots of good stuff, but make sure you go and show some love to Daisho Creations. Go and check out his Etsy store for all his 3D printed heads and accessories across all the different brands, and follow him on Instagram as well, Daisho Creations. So let's do this. Let's check out everything we got in the upgrade kit. So here we have the upgrade kit laid out on the table. So we have an interchangeable head in here that we will take a closer look at shortly, but let's just focus on the weapons first and foremost. So these were printed and painted by Daisho Creations, but the original sculpts for these weapons are from Sun Westkong. I will put his link in the description as well. But again, if you don't have a 3D printer, you're going to need someone like Daisho to be able to print them out for you. Something I'd love to get into, but definitely don't have the skill set for that. But look at this. So these are the actual accurate sculpted weapons from the Capcom cable game, and they are painted very nicely, so it brings out all that sculpted detail, even a little bit of red there. Now, he uses both of these big blasters in the game for that hyper viper beam, depending on the combo you've got going on. But yeah, these are very nicely done and very sturdy as well. Like, they look solid. Like, if you give me this and told me it was an official Marvel Legend accessory, I wouldn't challenge it. Like, it's really well made, really nicely painted with the sculpted detail. There's definitely like a dry brush of the sort of chromish gunmetal grey over a sort of darker tone. But yeah, lots of sculpted detail on this, plus the little red really does stand out on it as well, and like even from there as well you can see the red from the grating. But yeah, really nice. So that's the hyper viper beam big combo. We get his spear, which I know is an accessory piece that a lot of people are going to want if they have played the game. That's got a nice little blue or purplish tint to it on the hilt. Really nice blade as well. Again, I will show a better look at this with cable holding them in a moment. Put that back down. Here's the other blaster. Again, he uses both of them for the sort of combos, but both of these appeared in the game, so these are accurately sculpted. And again, a little bit of red in there as well, the same sort of painted detail with all that sculpted detail throughout the weapon. Honestly, really nicely done. And then a more accurate pistol as well for cable, which he does use in the gun. I think the only thing we're missing are those like little grenades that he throws on occasion. But yeah, it's nice to have accurately sculpted weapons from the game. I always like it when my figures on display are like accurate to the source material. Now granted, the Marvel Legend wasn't officially called the Capcom cable, but we all know what it was, Hasbro. So let's get cable holding some of this. First up, the spear. Now the Capcom games are a side profile scroller fighter, so here's a sort of side profile pose for you. But yeah, the actual spear is very nice, as he does use it in the game quite a lot, doesn't he? Like they called it a side blade or something, I can't quite remember. Someone in the comments can tell me. But either way, it is nice to get this spear, as it is a weapon we see Cable use in that game, more so in the comics. At least I don't remember it in the comics. I'm sure he did, that's why they put it in the game, but I remember it from the game more so than from the comics. Now the make, again, Daisho's done a great job. It feels very sturdy, it's not warping by any means, and the sculpted paint and detail on it are really nice. Again, even with the pattern on the blade, and you sort of see the little chrome bluish purplish sort of just coming off it from the dry brushing on the handle all the way down. And again, cable itself does come with two sort of trigger finger hands that you can sort of double as gripping hands. But yeah, there we go. We have his blade, his side blade, if you will, from the Capcom game. Looking nice. Next up, we have his smaller pistol that he pulls out during the game and gets some shots away for a combo. And again, this is more accurate than the one that the Marvel Legends one gave us. So if I zoom in for you real quick and have a little focus on that, you can see that he holds it within the gripping trigger finger hand, no problem at all. And remember, there is an up and down hinge in these hands for our Marvel Legends cable, so they work really well. But yeah, this looks great for our cable. And again, really nice blaster hand, more accurate to the game, more accurate to the source material. That's what we want. And then here we have the big one, the Hyper Viper beam. Now I'm trying to get him up in the accurate pose from the actual game, but unfortunately the figure itself is a little bit limiting as it doesn't have the butterfly joints, so you can't get the arms all the way across. But he definitely has the gun tucked under his arm, just like so. But if I spin it around, it gives you a better look at the gun. And yeah, again, the details on this are really nice, and it is very accurate to what we see on the actual game, but probably not the best pose, again, because of the lack of butterfly joints. But it's still a big, hefty gun that you can get cable to hold, and we know in our heads it is more accurate to what we've seen on the game. So yeah, really nice. And the final weapon is that other bigger blaster he uses for his hyper beam during the game. Unfortunately, the lack of butterfly joints, like I mentioned, means it's a little bit limiting, but at least we know the weapons are more accurate for our posing and display. And again, really nice detail throughout, really nice sculpt, holds them really firmly. They don't seem like they're going to break or anything like that. Really like it. We know the cable itself doesn't actually have any weapon storage, but these do give you some more display options for sure, especially if you're into ACBA or taking pictures and you're trying to set up a Marvel vs. Capcom pose. Then now you have some accurate weapons from the game to do that. So honestly, I do think it is a very worthy upgrade kit if you are a big fan of that Capcom game. But if you're a big fan of cable and you have a favorite artist, then we do have a new head sculpt that I could introduce you to. So this head sculpt was painted and printed by Daisho Creations, but the sculpt was actually by stl.custom.collections. Again, all of the links for all of this stuff are in the description, but this gives us a more sort of stylized head sculpt that best resembles the art of Ian Churchill from Cable's solo run during the 90s, sort of 93 to 97 era. It looks very, very nice on this Marvel Legend body, as it is basically the same costume he wore during that era as well. He had a few more pouches and maybe a few more straps, but it is basically the same thing. And I like that you've got the whited out eye, you've still got the scars around the eyes. This time you've got more of a gritted teeth expression. You've got the sort of shadow from the beard, you've got the bright eye, and you've still got the really nice hair with the quiff on the front. This is really nicely sculpted, and again, really nicely painted by James. Really, really good all the way around. Fits on the head as well. Proportionally, I think it works against the body, as Cable has always been drawn really, really broad. So I think that scales really nicely. Again, just the paintwork on this with all the detail on all of the sculpt is so, so nice. Granted, I liked the Marvel Legends one as well. I really did. But this just gives you another option, especially if you are a fan of this particular era of Cable. But yeah, I think he's done a phenomenal job. Really, really solid. Let's finish up with some comparisons. So let's bring in the two previous Marvel Legend cables. Again, all of these are worthy of a spot in your display, as they all represent different eras of Cable within the comics. So just spread them out a little bit. You got X-Force, you got more of your X-Men or Capcom. Honestly, really, really nice. Again, the Capcom cable, there's no way to store the weapons on the back, but you could get fancy and add some magnets or something like that if you really wanted to create more of a sort of Cable-esque silhouette with the big chunky guns attached to his back. But I do like what we get here. And if you are curious what this new Ian Churchill head sculpt looks like on those previous bodies, I'll throw an image up on screen so you can see. Just add a little bit of blue tack to the actual head sculpt and it will fit no problem. Let's bring in some fellow X-Men who were also in the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 game. It is, of course, his dad Cyclops and Wolverine. These are both the X-Men 97 recent releases. But this may be what people are most curious about about. Of course, Jada are doing a great job with their 1/12 scale Street Fighter figures. Really nicely articulated, pinless with lots of accessories, a great value as well. So here we have Chun-Li and Ryu. Next up we have Ken and Fei Long, and I know it looks like Cable's a little bit too tall, but I think that's fine as Cable is a tall, bulky character, and once you pose them up in more fighting displays, it's going to work absolutely fine. And last but not least, two characters they should have absolutely put in the Marvel vs. Capcom game, but I heard rumours out there they couldn't put Hellfire Hank in the game with his saxophone as he would have just been too OP. Take it away, Hank! So, final thoughts on this Marvel Legends action figure upgrade for our CAPCOM Cable. Special thank you once again to James at Daisho Creations for sending over this upgrade kit in the first place, which itself is a collaboration amongst different creators in the community. Their head sculpt was sculpted by stl.custom.collections, and then the weapons were 3D sculpted by West_Kong. James printed them out, painted them up, and they look amazing. Now my Cable on the shelf is definitely more accurate to the source material, and that's what it's all about for me. But remember, everyone's collection and displays are different, no two are the same, and that's what makes this hobby so much fun. If you've got any other creators in mind that you think I should check out and highlight on the channel, then please let me know in the comments or hit me up on the DMs on Instagram. Always fun to check this type of stuff out. But if you like Marvel Legends, one thing is for sure, you are in the right place. Check out the videos tab on the playlist, but most importantly, please hit that subscribe button, hit all on the notification bell, don't miss out on a video, and please hit that join button, become a channel member, either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Become a channel member and you literally get to be part of the channel. Support the channel, be on the channel. It is so simple. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. I'm on Twitter at Dan Who Reviews. Let me know if I should do more of these action figure upgrades on the channel in the comments below, and I will of course see you on the next one.